I get it, you're scrolling through endless coffee machine videos, wondering if you'll end up spending a fortune on a gadget that looks impressive but ends up collecting dust. You don't want to guess whether the machine will actually fit into your morning routine, handle the occasional espresso lover in the house, and still feel worth the price tag. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Jura E8 in its piano white finish is marketed as a one-button barista for people who love cafe-style coffee but hate the hassle. That promise sounds great, but the real question is whether the machine lives up to it when you're juggling a kid's breakfast, a quick work-from-home break, and maybe a weekend brunch for friends. I spent a couple of weeks testing the E8 in a typical apartment kitchen, measuring how often I actually reached for the custom brew buttons, how much time I saved cleaning, and whether the design stayed elegant after a few weeks of daily use. First off, the most noticeable thing is the touchscreen interface. All the coffee customization options are laid out visually: strength, temperature, cup size, so you can dial in exactly what you want with a few taps. In practice, this means that when I'm half asleep and need a strong espresso, I just hit the espresso icon and the machine pulls a shot that's consistently hot and rich without me having to remember any numbers. If you're the kind of person who likes to experiment with a flat white or CAF au lait and wants to tweak the milk ratio, those sliders are right there, and you can save a favorite profile for future use. For households with multiple coffee preferences, the ability to store individual profiles on the machine makes it easier than writing down instructions for each family member. The fresh grind feature is another core claim. Jura's built-in grinder grinds beans just before extraction, and because it's not a capsule system, you get the aroma of beans hitting the grinder each morning. In my kitchen, the scent alone felt like a mini coffee shop opening. More importantly, the grind size adjusts automatically based on the selected drink, so you don't have to fiddle with a separate grinder setting for a latte versus a lungo. This automatic adjustment saved me from the trial and error that many home grinders demand. One of the biggest pain points for coffee machine owners is cleaning, especially the milk system. The E8's one-touch milk system cleaning is genuinely convenient. After making a few lattes, I pressed the cleaning button and the machine ran a short rinse cycle that flushed the milk tube and frother. The whole process took under 2 minutes, and the next day the milk still came out silky without any off flavors. If you're someone who enjoys milk-based drinks daily, this feature prevents the dreaded milk film buildup that can ruin taste over time. Design-wise, the piano white finish lives up to its name. It has a sleek, slightly curved front panel that blends with modern cabinets rather than clashing with stainless steel appliances. The machine sits about a foot wide, so it takes up a bit more counter space than a compact pod brewer, but the visual impact is more like a small piece of art than a kitchen appliance. In a real-world setting, I found that the machine's weight kept it stable during the occasional bump from a hurried kitchen scramble, no wobbling or rattling. Now, who should consider buying the Jura E8? If you're a coffee enthusiast who drinks at least 2 quality drinks a day, values the ability to customize each cup, and prefers beans over capsules, the E8 is a solid investment. It shines for households where different people want different drinks, because you can set up multiple profiles and switch between them in seconds. It also makes sense for small office settings where you want a professional-looking machine that can handle a moderate volume without constant supervision. The combination of fresh grinding, intuitive touch controls, and the easy clean milk system gives you a cafe-level experience without needing a barista on staff. On the other hand, the E8 isn't the best fit if you're looking for a budget-friendly option or only brew a single plain black coffee each morning. The machine's price point is higher than many entry-level drip makers, and its larger footprint can be a challenge in tiny kitchens. If you don't care about milk frothing or you're content with pre-ground beans, the extra complexity of the grinder and milk system may feel unnecessary. Also, the touchscreen, while slick, can be a bit sensitive when your hands are wet from a splash of milk, leading to occasional mishaps that require you to reselect your drink. A practical weakness I noticed is the warm-up time. The E8 takes about 40 seconds to reach brewing temperature after being turned on, which is longer than a simple single-serve pod machine. If you're used to pressing a button and getting a cup in 10 seconds, you'll need to factor that warm-up period into your routine. That said, the machine stays hot for a few minutes, so once it's up to speed, making multiple drinks back-to-back is quick.